The situation in the Toretsk direction is somewhat different from what is happening on the outskirts of Vuhledar or in Bakhmut. Here, the Russian army does not conduct the same active hostilities, but peace and quiet can only be dreamed of by civilians. 2 weeks ago, Russian invaders shelled the city center. 1 person died and 6 were wounded. The Russian army continues to destroy the infrastructure of Toretsk.
Now we are going to the soldiers in the Toretsk direction at the position of Ukrainian servicemen. They say that there was shelling here today. From the drones, the enemy dropped shells of the position of Ukrainian servicemen. Fortunately, no one hurt.
They first threw off 1 grenade. It did not explode. Ours immediately retreated, and the drone threw off the second one. It exploded, but did not hurt anyone.
Until recently, the servicemen of this unit repelled enemy attacks near Klishivka. They share with us memories of how it was.
In Klishivka, it's like this. During the day there was always shelling, steadily every day. When it got dark, they stopped shelling and began to crawl towards our positions to be unnoticed. But we looked into the thermal imagers and struck so that they could not capture our positions. And so it happened every day. During the day shelling, at night they climb. The Russians stormed because they wanted to capture our positions.
After the battles near Klishivka and Bakhmut, the soldiers of this brigade seem to have a rest in the Toretsk direction.
Compared to what I've seen before, it's heaven and earth. This dugout was built a long time ago, solidly, and can withstand any shelling.
What have you seen before?
We lived in foxholes, in trenches, in the field. They had to stand in a 20-degree frost for a day. Not cold, because there was no time. Instead of water, I gnawed ice. It's okay, did not catch a cold, survived. Here I relaxed a little, let's say, very comfortable conditions in comparison with those that were.
The servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine stand to the last and, at the cost of their lives, protect their country, relatives and friends. A soldier with the call-sign teacher in peacetime taught Lyceum students how to sew clothes. He has been on the front line for half a year now. He didn't want to evade mobilization.
Since I was once in the anti-terrorist operation, they told me, you saw more there, you know, so go, and went. I did not refuse.
During the silence, the Ukrainian defenders do not sit idle. They strengthen their positions, preparing for any development of events, and also do not forget about the constant monitoring of the enemy.
It is safe for me and my brothers. After silence, it gets hot. That is why we are actively preparing.
Is this knowledge from your own experience?
Yes, I have been fighting since the beginning, since March of last year. March 11th was already in position in Popasna. They held the line as best they could. At the moment, the enemy is chaotically hitting our positions with small arms. It is mainly heavy machine guns, and sometimes enemy mortar groups hit us here. There were also attempts by the enemy to enter neighboring positions in small groups, as I understand it, to do something like reconnaissance and advance, but they were not crowned with any success.
Taught by the experience of Popasna, Kherson and Bakhmut, the soldiers understand that the Russian army is not trying to push through the positions of our soldiers with manpower, but luck, as well as support of the entire civilized world, is on the side of Ukraine. Reported by Pavel Steinmach, Anastasia Volkova, UATV News.